All eyes on Doge. Big run up. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Friday afternoon. How's everybody doing? It is a Friday before a long weekend here in the United States, as Monday is Memorial Day. So a lot of people have just already taken off, but we're here and we'll talk about some Doge, some Bitcoin, talk a little stocks, talking about levels, a lot to talk about, although the price, but it wasn't unexpected. No, it wasn't unexpected because yesterday during the live stream, Doge was right here at 24 cents. And somebody said, hey, Kriss, can you draw out what you just said? And what I said was the structure is falling down. And it looked like on Friday there would be a pullback. And so I drew it. And the white line is what I drew yesterday. Dogecoin did go on a bit of a run last night up to 25 cents, just taking out a few shorts there. And then came back and met my line a couple times. And it is still looking rather bearish. To quote our friend VP, right? Bearish. Yes. The charts are a little bearish right now. VP and I agree on that. However, my overall outlook is still not bearish. It is bullish. And that's where VP and I go separate ways. And I'll show you why on the charts as well. What happened with Dog Whiff Hat last night? I don't follow Whiff here, Annika, but what did happen to Whiff? It went on a run too, just like Doge. And then pulled back today. So it's down 3%. So not too different than what Doge did, actually. But this was a nice little run there. If you were like doing something short, like 20% run, and then it just lost it all this morning, all the way back down. I mean, what did Dogecoin go up when it went on its little run here? Dogecoin went up 6-7%. Whiff went up 20, lost it all though. So if you were a swing trader and you were looking up here at $1.36, maybe to swing trade this, that was the thing to do. But if you're just holding Whiff long term, price went up, price went down, and you just rode it through. That's what we end up doing most of the time, is riding it through. But yeah, Whiff now looks very bearish there from the top all the way down. That's a 16% decline there since that top. So there's the Whiff. I didn't see this from last night. I sort of had, of course, the Doge chart on and saw Doge going up to 25 cents, but it kind of just came back down. Now, Dogecoin is down 5% now, showing weakness, and Bitcoin is now back under 109, down to 1085. So here on a Friday afternoon, Bitcoin is also showing some weakness. So that's where we start today, guys and gals. But yeah, this was the line here, and I think we're going to break below 23 cents. We did briefly this morning dipped down to about 22.8 before some buyers came in and bought Doge back up. So we'll see if that happens again if Doge drops below the 23 cent level. Ali posted this. What if deviation? And this is the flip-flop that Ali says, but this is an interesting chart. This is on Bitcoin. This is a daily chart, and we know what happened back on April 7th, April 8th. That was the dip, right? And he says, could that have been a deviation below a fib line where we just had this little run up above 108 up to 111 and just hit 112 for Bitcoin? And was that a deviation? And that the levels we should be just trading in would be between 78K and 108. And that is the trading for Bitcoin. So from Bitcoin here, is Bitcoin going to get back into this range and trade around for a while now? Because it had its little deviation here following the lower deviation there. And that instead of Bitcoin just turning around and going higher, which about 95% of the Bitcoin YouTube TA folks are calling for, is this actually more correct? Where we had that little deviation and now Bitcoin's going to settle down here and go a little sideways. Interesting. But then there is the bull, which is Colin Talks Crypto. And we looked at the M2 money supply versus Dogecoin. This is M2 money supply versus Bitcoin. He didn't say how delayed he was on this. Yeah, what offset is this? Somebody asked that here. What is the offset? Did somebody say 81? So there's 81, Ben says, an 81-day offset. And I was looking at a 100-day offset on the Doge chart. But based on that, with Bitcoin, Colin is saying the next move up is to $127,000 before sideways and a little correction down to 120. If it generally follows this M2 money supply with an 81-day delay before then moving up higher on a next impulse up to like $175,000. So there's still a lot of bulls looking at a lot of charts. I'm like looking at this upcoming summer when things normally quiet down. Will we have a good June or not? We'll see next week when I make my June price prediction video, and we'll see what happens there. What my prediction is for June, but I'm not predicting a huge impulse like that. So, Dogecoin makes a U-turn, and that happened last night. Again, Doge traded up over 25 cents up to about 25.4, and then took this bit of a dive, right? I had predicted that. So those just joining, this white line was my Dogecoin price prediction from yesterday's live stream and where this would go. And I'm guessing we're going to be down in the 22s later tonight. And the markets are showing some pretty weak trading right now here on a Friday afternoon. Dogecoin price prediction. This is someone on Binance Square saying potential surge to 95 cents. Again, a lot of bulls, not a lot of bears. VP's a bear. I'm a short-term bear. I think it's just going to consolidate though. But in the short term, because that's what I'm looking at in terms of the latest news and the sentiment right now, going into the holiday weekend, a little negative. And next week is the Bitcoin conference, which I will be at. I will be live in Las Vegas at the Bitcoin conference. Well, I won't be doing a live stream, but I'm going to record, try and grab a lot of video of what's going on around there and share it with you all. But a lot of people are just like, yeah, Dogecoin's going to go. It's expected to approach $1 in 2025. Expected? It's like, that's pretty bullish. Expected, and that's by Bitcoin Census, and we did look at his chart yesterday. The market volume, yeah, it surged yesterday, but today it's pretty flat. And you can't look at the past support from Dogecoin predictions because we know in 2021, and even Kev Capital, yes, I looked at the Kev Capital video. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Kev Capital video did show up to the 1.61 fib line was the first run that Dogecoin had in 2021, but then it went on this crazy second run because of all the hype around Elon Musk and all of that craziness, where that part of Dogecoin's run in 2021 was a deviation. Okay, you see where I'm going with this, right? A deviation from the level to watch was that craziness in 2021. So that's where I think Kev's a little bit off, and I'll get to that. But it was a good video, I do admit, because I did kind of talk a little negative about it on this morning's video without actually watching it. Someone left a comment, said, Kriss, you should really watch Kev's video. So I did. So I watched it because it is Dogecoin after all, and I cover these Dogecoin things, and we'll get to that in a minute. Meanwhile, Dogecoin super cycle could start next week, and I'm just like, Dogecoin has no such thing as a super cycle. Dogecoin goes up really hard and comes down really hard. It doesn't just keep going up and up and up and up and up. So that part I was just like, what? Super cycle? What's he talking about here? And I go down. This is the Dima James Potts chart that we looked at yesterday as well. And if you look on the logarithmic scale like he uses, 2017, big run, drop sideways. 2021, big run, drop sideways. There's no super cycle there. So I think the guy who put this article together doesn't know what a super cycle is, because super cycle just means it keeps going up. And Doge doesn't do that, and it never has done that. So I'm not expecting that. But he says Bitcoin price currently trading at 109 after briefly smashing through its all-time high, hovers near that critical level that Dima James Pod is like, you know, what's going to happen with the Doge while Bitcoin just generally keeps going up. And it's like, not going to be a super cycle, because Doge just doesn't do that. But Dogecoin has not just risen after these signals, it's launched. And that's the launch. That's the part that Doge hasn't done yet, which I'm still predicting to be later this year for that. We'll get to the levels in a minute. And yet another analyst says full-blown alt season has started. And I'm like, what? No, not quite yet. Full-blown alt season has started, and we see Doge going down. We see actually the whole crypto market going down. And what happens when the crypto market goes down overall? And Bitcoin dominance goes back up. So Bitcoin dominance last night was down here at about 63.5, and now it's back up to 64, because as I've said many times, when the market is red, Dogecoin and other cryptos fall harder than Bitcoin, which means Bitcoin dominance goes back up when we have everything in crypto in the red. So that's what happens. So that was, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm not even going to read this article, because I'm just like, no. Who was this? This was Blunts. Blunts tells his 306,000 followers on X that altcoins may start outperforming Bitcoin as the digital assets are suddenly flashing bullish. Well, maybe that was yesterday. Not today. Not today. So a little bearish today, but overall, the larger picture hasn't changed. So somebody else looked at Kev Capital's video and said, can Dogecoin really hit $3.80? Because that's what I said. The first thing I saw was $3.80. It's just like, come on, Kev. Price discovery, lines on a chart, doesn't matter. I said that yesterday. But I did watch the video. And at the beginning, Kev did say for 2 cycles in a row, Dogecoin tagged the 1.618 fib. And he did show that this time, the 1.618 fib up here is at $3.80. He said, though, he didn't call them catalysts, he used a different word, but certain things have to align, namely Bitcoin going up, quantitative tightening done, didn't really call for quantitative easing, interest rates being cut, like all of those things. Or I think for Dogecoin, it's really more the catalysts, like Dogecoin being accepted as payment for a Tesla car or being used on the X platform. It's like those big catalysts. That's what Dogecoin needs to do something like that. But without that, the one thing that Kev did that I was just like, I mean, that 1.618 fib line was based off of the previous high of 73 cents. And I think if he went down to the 1.618 fib lower, which was about 8.5 cents or 9 cents, and then he did his new fib lines for the 2025 bull run, he would have a more accurate prediction of the price target for this bull run if he did that. Because again, just thinking about deviation here. So, but overall, good video. He looked at the stochastic RSI. He looked at the monthly. He looked at the 2-week. Those were all really interesting, showing how, the relative strength index has been going up, higher lows, looking at the price, higher lows, and that all lined up. Everything looked good for that. So had the, reverse head and shoulders, called out targets like, 27, 28 cents being the next resistance in the golden pocket. We'll see how that plays out, the old golden pocket. So it was a good video. So I apologize, Kev, from this morning without watching the video. But again, I'll criticize just a couple little things, but the rest of it was pretty good. So Kevin's next main price target is the 2021 all-time high. So he says, whoever wrote this article said just under $1, but he was just like the all-time high with 73 cents. So that's kind of what, without those other, huge things happening, that's what he's saying for Doge, 73 cents, which I think a lot of us would be happy with. A lot of us would be happy with 73 cents right now, as Dogecoin is sitting down here at 23 cents. So, hey, if we can do a 3x from here, I think a lot of us would be happy with a 3x with Dogecoin from here. But there's some moon boys out there that want it all, $1 more. I get that. So what else is Ali saying? Well, in the short term, Ali's saying, from this larger bull flag, we have the breakout, which I was showing on mine as well. And his flagpole comes up to 32 cents, 31, 32, right in that range, which would be a 1.414 fib. But nobody talks about 1.41. It's always... They always change the numbers on these lines. This is like no, it's supposed to be the 1.618, not the 1.414. Anyway, Bitcoin census on Bitcoin, very bullish. Well, on Doge, very bullish on Doge. Again, looking at the last moves from 2023, 2024, and then this move down in 2025, leading to this next move up, which if you draw this upward rising resistance line, you get up to about 95 cents. Bullish. Trader tardigrade. Dogecoin uptrend remains pretty much solid. That's going up to almost $1. And we've got, well, this is Sunday's Indianapolis 500. What's going to happen this weekend? I thought I had one more bullish chart on Doge, but I guess that was it. So there it is. Those are the charts. Levels to watch. You know, we saw what Ali said. We saw what Kev said. We've got Trader Allen, and we've got Bitcoin Census. They're all bullish. They're all bullish. In the short term, though, Kriss isn't bullish, unfortunately. But we can have fun watching the Indy 500 on Sunday anyway, which is going to be my next live stream. Also, it's going to be right after the Indy 500. It's supposed to start at like 12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. There's talk about maybe some rain possible on Sunday. I don't know. What do you think, Jason? You think it's going to rain? Maybe delay the Indy 500? Maybe a rain delay? What do you think? Have you been checking the weather? We need a weather report. Weather report. Because it directly impacts my next live stream on Sunday, because it's got to be after the race. I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to stop watching the race. Or maybe if it's delayed, I do the live stream when we have the race on. Maybe I could do that. I don't know. If it's delayed and the race is still going at 4 o'clock, maybe I just start the live stream and we just continue watching the race together. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Devlin does great, though, and everything is awesome. Jason, I hope not, but it's going to be fun. There's small chance, some rain, maybe later. I know, we need Weather Girl. Exactly. Bruce, Monica. We need Monica's expertise here on the weather for Indianapolis on Sunday. When they come on, we will ask that. That's for sure. So definitely going to be fun watching the Dogecoin car at the Indy 500 on Sunday. And yes, Jason, look forward to seeing your pictures. I'm already following you on X, so can't wait to see what you post. That is going to be fun. And if you post them on Sunday, we'll call them up during the live stream. So that'll be fun. More talk today about this wormhole bridge or connection between Dogecoin and Solana. And I still haven't found a real read yet on what happens to your Dogecoin when you move it to Solana via Wormhole's native token transfer thing. Because it's like, wait, you're going to send your Dogecoin to something that only takes tokens, and it's no longer Dogecoin then. So I don't know what's going on. People are going crazy. Oh, Dogecoin on Solana, that's going to be awesome. And I'm like, is it really? Is it? Well, why would you do this? I still don't see why you would do this. I've read through like 4 different articles on this, and I don't understand why anyone would want to send their Dogecoin over to Solana to do what? I mean, There's no staking. There's no, why would you do this? You have access to faster and broader token use across networks. And it says, while keeping ownership and smart contract functionality intact. And I just don't, that totally does not make any sense to me. So I got to wait and see what the Dogecoin Foundation and Dogecoin Dev say about this. And I haven't seen that yet. All right, so that's what we got going on, guys. That's where we are right now. Doge hanging out, still above 23 cents. Most crypto markets still in the red. But that's where we are. Hey, Adam, how many should I buys will we get within 1 week when Doge gets above 70 cents? Yes, exactly. When should I buy? What prohibits Doge from realistically hitting prices like $5 to $10 market cap? Billions and billions and billions of dollars being thrown at Dogecoin. That's what keeps it from hitting that. Exactly what Lucifer says. Yes, market cap. Straight on. My answer too. Straight on. It's like, yeah, it's just like billions and billions and billions of dollars, fresh dollars, new dollars being thrown at Dogecoin. That's a lot. All right. Let me scroll up here, see what I missed. Bum, bum, bum. It's a retracement, not bearish. I agree. Doge is the best currency. Agree. The Bitcoin Cash whales refuse to give me my 6.44 back. If anyone thinks Doge hits $1, you're delusional. You know, $1 is going to be hard to make, like I've said many times. That's a lot of money just to get to $1, which is why Kev now talking back like previous all-time high. That does make a lot of sense. Is it a buy opportunity today, tonight, tomorrow? You make it the choice of when you think you're going to buy on a dip. I'm kind of going to wait this. I'm going to wait this out, let this play out. And does my prediction down into the 22s happen overnight or later tonight? Is that short-term bearishness still going to play out? A lot of it will be on Bitcoin. Bitcoin down to 108.6. Trying to hold support down here to like 108.4. But if there's some weakness in Bitcoin and it comes down into the 107s, then we'll definitely have Dogecoin in the 22s. So I'm watching that. Which, of course, much wow, very opportunity. We're in a bull market, so any dip is a buying opportunity. Exactly. Ask Michael Saylor if MicroStrategy will get into Dogecoin mining. Yeah, if I see Michael Saylor there in Vegas next week, I'll ask him. He's not even into Bitcoin mining. He's just buying and hodling and trying to sell as much stock and MicroStrategy as he can and bonds and anything else to get more cash to buy more Bitcoin. That's all he's about. The mining thing he's not really into. Yeah, that whole 2021 thing with Doge was just crazy. Supposed to reach, I mean, that's where I was then. I'm more realistic now, but at the time I was all caught up on that, which is why I never took any profits, which looking back, it was pretty obvious that was profit taking time right there. But all still good. We will survive unless we die, of course. Yeah, don't get dead. Yeah, I got to cut my grass too, but couldn't today because it's still rainy. Abe sold last night for a little 70% gain. I was about a day early on my swing trade. I was about a day early. Was not expecting a 25-cent Dogecoin. Oh, come on, 73, 74, Ryan, you know. Take whatever's on your plate. I trust anything Ali says. The least, right? The least. Actually, this idea, though, of the deviation is not a bad one. That's not a bad one. But his price predictions and things like that are generally a bit whacked. Galaxy is my other channel. So you're now here with I Play Blackjack. I might do a little like video poker or something while I'm in Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to hit a blackjack table or not. You're in South Bend, north of Indy. No rain on Sunday. Well, someone was saying it might rain. Delay the Indy. I don't remember where I saw that. There's a Knicks game on Sunday. It's tonight. Tonight is the next game. The one in New York. And then they go to Indianapolis on Sunday. Oh, that's right. There'll be in Indianapolis on Sunday as well. That Solana thing seems sketchy. Yeah, Nismo, that just, I mean, why would you do that? Send your Doge over to Solana to buy NFTs and play in games on Solana? I'll wait for Doge OS and stuff being built on Doge. Thank you. Annie's saying, I knew we were going to get to 25 cents by the end of the week. Last night was a gift. So if you had a limit order sell at 25 cents, you did good. You did good. I'm guessing YouTube, someone on YouTube is going to be showing it live. And you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. That's my guess. I don't know if ABC Sports has a thing on, is it even ABC? I don't even know what channel, or maybe Fox. Yeah, who's broadcasting it? I got to see that. Is it Fox? Used to be ABC. That was like always the big thing. What channel is broadcasting the Indy 500? Fox. Yeah, so there's probably a Fox, there's probably an online Fox YouTube channel that will be showing it. Oh, Monica's here with the forecast. Forecast for the Indy 500 is up in the air, cloudy skies, have to watch closely up to race day. Don't bet on the weather. Not financial advice. Oh, just in time for the weather forecast that we needed. But it's going to be chilly. Oh. Birthday boy. Happy birthday to the birthday boy. If the Dogecoin car wins the Indy race, will the price go up? Yes, the price will go up. Guaranteed. Guaranteed the price will go up. So if you think Devlin's going to win, buy your Dogecoin before the race and you'll make money. Sunshine, you did a big move. What state are you in now? Can you tell us that? At least what state you're in? Curious to know. The world of Doge is generally good long term, but we got a little weakness right now. So, and it is following right along with my predicted line. For those just joining, this white line is what I predicted would be the Doge price from yesterday's live stream. And we're kind of right there a day later. We're kind of right there. Just as I predicted. Arizona. Thanks for letting me know, Sunshine. Arizona. That's a beautiful part. If you like the dry, the really dry air. Michael is being sued. He's been lying all this time about buying Bitcoin. What? I don't know about that. I have not heard that. Well, CDC, my guess is lower, but that's not financial advice for anybody. If you want to buy now, you can. Looks like we'll dip to like 22.90 here, maybe just like we did earlier. If you've got $1,000 ready to spend, maybe you don't buy all 1,000, maybe like 300 or 500 of it here, and you don't know if it's going to go down further or not. At least you got some on this dip. Just think about those kinds of scenarios. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Think about that. Petruchio, Doge and Pepe. Have a great weekend. Doing great, Ely? Doing great on a Friday, hanging out? I mean, I didn't want to draw the line lower. I said that yesterday. It's like, I want Dogecoin to just keep going up, right? And then, hey, if that happens, I get more views, right? You get more people in the live streams. There's more excitement and everybody's making money. That's what I want to happen. But yesterday, this is what I predicted, and it's happening. So I'm sorry for predicting something that is actually playing out, but that's what we have. I know you got to lose some money while you're in Vegas. You have to. It's a given. Besides already being ripped off by resort fees and the price of food and all that. Because that all comes with it too. But as I said yesterday, I'm getting paid because it's a paid vacation for me, taking vacation from work, but getting paid while I'm hanging out in Vegas for a week. That's not bad. That is not bad. Yeah, the mining stocks are, that's a really tough one, D. CleanSpark is the one that I've been watching. It's had some really wild swings up and down. I haven't really watched Mara lately, but let's do a poker tournament that requires a Dogecoin buy-in. That'd be fun. Doge poker. Oh, you got your red check mark back, Ely. Awesome. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that, but glad you got it figured out. Kriss will recoup what the machines owe Charlotte. No, Charlotte will never see it that way, Doug. No, she has her particular machines that she needs to get her money back on. Fox. You're in Fort Lauderdale for the night, home tomorrow. Good luck at the casino. Oh, that's the Hard Rock, right? Where you guys are? Have fun. Michael Anthony, what do you got for us today? Bernstein analysts reaffirmed their market perform rating, $30 price target for Pfizer. Okay, good luck with the Pfizer stock. Wildman, dang. Everyone hit the like. Appreciate the reminder there. I always forget to say that. So who wants to bet what place the Doge car comes in? Let's do that. What place will Devlin Dogecoin car come in? At the finish of the Indy 500. Let's say 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 plus. Okay. There we got a little poll. And of course, most of us have never watched an Indy 500, so we don't know what that means, but we can have fun voting anyway. We can have fun anyway. Oz thinks mid or end of June for big movements. Jason is manifesting the Dogecoin win. Awesome. Hey, Bruce, thanks for stopping in. Good luck tonight. Have fun. DB's like Devlin wins. Number one. No, we don't want to crash. No crashes. No crashes. Doge, the only coin fast enough for the Indy 500. Hey, Jay, how are you? Flag and poll is failure of Dogecoin. Still in play. However, in the Indy 500, there's a flag and there's a poll, right? So Indy 500 Sunday for Dogecoin. Risk it all. Black or red? What do I play on the roulette? Risk it all. No, I don't play roulette. It's a loser's game. Weekly RSI might test the yellow line before going back up again. What's the point of the Apple tariff? I don't believe Apple products will not be made in the US. No, Apple actually said that they were going to shift the manufacture of Apple iPhones to India, even though they had already committed to building plants in the United States, but it wasn't going to be for the iPhone. And once Trump heard that about the iPhone not being made in the United States, he said, I will just slap a tariff on phones that are not made in the US. 25% tariff. He wants the jobs here in the United States. That's what it is. Jobs. It's all about jobs. Now, many of these new manufacturing facilities will be heavily automated. That's for sure. But people still need to code it. People still need to manage it. Have those things made here in the United States. That's his position. Michael Saylor is being sued because he hates paying his taxes. I'm sure you can see that he's buying Bitcoin. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I don't know where those rumors come in. He's being sued because he hates paying taxes. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what his personal financial position is. I think he probably holds a lot of Bitcoin too, but if he's following what he's doing with MicroStrategy or Strategy B or whatever it is, probably not a lot of selling of Bitcoin. but he's got to afford living somehow. Maybe it's just a big salary he's taking from MicroStrategy. So you were holding a 24.2 cent drop, not this low. Yep. And about to dip below 23 cents here is what we're looking at right now. And again, Bitcoin 1084. Is Bitcoin going to drop below 108? So far it has held. Oh, I guess on the quick dip this morning, it came down to 107.5. But that got bought right back up on the Bitcoin chart. That just got bought right up. If we look at it from the other side, it looks like we climbed out of a bucket. You're confused. Yeah. Zoom out on the 4 hour. This was the bull flag, right? We had this big bull flag. Doge broke out of the bull flag. But now it's just weakness is not allowing that to continue. So Doge trading back down. And yesterday, I thought that was the move initially up to about 24.3 that we had on Wednesday. And then we were kind of just bopping along sideways. So during yesterday's live stream, I was like, yeah, we'll do this a little more sideways. And then we're going to dip. And so that's where this prediction came from. So I don't know what you mean by climbed out of a bucket, but that was the bull flag. But that doesn't always mean that whole run is going to play out up to 29 cents or whatever that is on the flagpole. So I think we're going to see another double bottom here between Tuesday and maybe tomorrow we come back maybe down to 22 cents. So that's what I predicted would happen. And so far, I mean, if we didn't have that big run there, we'd be a lot closer now. But last night we did, all the memes kind of ran up. We looked at Whiff earlier. Whiff went up 20%. Doge went up 6%. So that's what we got. To build the factories and facilities here cost more than the 25% cost. Probably. I know the cost of buildings. As an architect, I know how much they cost, and they're not cheap. There's a class action lawsuit. People are upset about Bitcoin being volatile, not that he didn't buy enough. Well, that just sounds like a stupid lawsuit to me. Oh, I'm the best. You always come up with great questions. If you pick certain dates and time, you will see Dogecoin versus SHIB versus Pepe. I present to you yet again this chart, which is the SHIB Doge chart, which has been down this year. This is SHIB versus Doge. Doge has been outperforming SHIB for months. So I don't know where you get your information from, but that's why you ask me, and I come up with the charts. So if anybody says that SHIB is outperforming Doge, I'm like, have you seen the SHIB Doge chart? From the 20th of April to today, Dogecoin has outperformed SHIB by 22%. SHIB is a garage. I like that better. I know you just fixed it to say garbage, but I like that. SHIB is a garage. That is The quote of the day, the chat of the day, Sheeb is a garage. I love it. I love it. Anyway, whoever is saying Sheeb is outperforming Doge, just look at the chart, and it's not. It's like Sheeb is bleeding bad against Doge here, just bleeding bad. So I mean, just look at the charts. That's what I say. All right. Is the Europe tariff at 50% going to continue? Hey, Trump does these things to get a response, get a reaction. It's like, you guys fix your tariffs on your end, or let's make a better trade deal than what we got now, and that'll go away. I told you right at the beginning, months ago, he's using tariffs as a big stick. It's a big stick to bat these other countries on the head in order to get a better trade deal. That's what it was all about. It wasn't about like taking down the debt and all that. It was all the art of the deal. We talked about it months ago, and that's still what he's doing. All Vegas games are loser games, exactly. But if you sit there playing video poker, you get some free beer. All you got to do is tip the waitress, So I got to have some cash, right? If I could tip Dogecoin, I would tip Dogecoin while I'm sitting there playing my video poker. But it's kind of fun. I'll do it. I'll do it. Christoph is here. MicroStrategy does run farms. I did know that. Yeah, gold is building momentum because guess what? Everything else going down. So gold's going up. Exactly. Gold is my biggest profit win personally next to Bitcoin. Wow. That's saying something. It all depends on when you buy, I guess. Gold is typically a laggard and just kind of slow and steady. But in a bearish market, gold will outperform. That is true. Maybe the Indy race will be the start of the Dogecoin catalyst. Absolutely. Let's go, Doge. Miss Charlotte, hello. Around town. Happy Friday. Buy in the bear and you'll have a stress-free life. That is for sure. We do have a poll going on of where you think the Dogecoin car is going to finish in the Indy 500 race. Even if you've never seen an Indy 500 race before, you can still vote in the poll. The Queen's in the house, finally here. Happy Friday. At this point, if Trump wants to crush and crash the market, let it be. It's an exhausted market. That is true. The EU is not negotiating in good faith. Europe offered 0 for 0. Did they? I didn't hear that. Why is XRP not moving? Because they keep making up stories that people don't believe. It moved a little bit, up almost to 250 and then dropped like everything else. But I'm not a fan of XRP, so crypto and casino seems like the inevitable future. Yep. My boy, Peter Schiff. Yeah. Hey, Schiff's doing great right now. He's got a lot of attention on him, a lot of focus on him. Gold, gold, gold. But Bitcoin did just hit an all-time high. So Crypto is used in online casinos in Malta? Maybe. Sheeb is a garage. That's where we store our Doge. People optimistic about Devlin? XRP is a garage too. Yes. That's awesome. 0 for 0 was their offer after Liberation Day. Really? I wonder why that changed and why all of a sudden this 50% thing showed up. I don't know. I haven't been following it. You traded your Pepe for XRP during the crash. Well, Pepe will drop harder than XRP. That Pepe being a meme, it'll drop harder. So Pepe's down 5%, XRP's down 4%. But not a huge difference between the two, but they're all kind of following Bitcoin still. Doge is, hey, there's the dancing Doge. Doge again, going to test 23 cents now. Mark my words, Sheep is a garage. Hey, New World, you're usually #1 here. I missed your first comment. Glad you could make it. Happy anniversary. That's awesome. Celebrate well. I haven't seen your questions, Charles Anthony. Sorry. Ask it again. I can't get to everyone. I try. I don't know what I missed. As long as you didn't have a bad word in there. If you have a naughty word, then the chat doesn't show up. So ask again. I want to build a new garage with my Doge profits. Yes, I like that. I know the Doge or the XRP army is always like $8, $10, $100. And you know, Daryl, daily crypto trade signals, Daryl, I love Daryl, but God, all of a sudden that $100 XRP thing was out and he was all over it. And I was just like, Daryl, dude, relax. XRP's not going to $100. Come on, Daryl, just relax just a little bit. A little bit there. Yep. Anniversaries are good things to celebrate. Absolutely. Good things to celebrate. Yeah, I'm thinking down and sideways here. Down and sideways. GNH. Kind of weakness right now. I mean, look at the 4-hour chart and you can see as we head into the weekend, you know, I kind of think there's going to be some weakness here. Last Saturday was weak. Sunday had a comeback, and Sunday was some wild up and down trading, but Saturday was very weak last week. Just this is a 4-hour chart. And it was just 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row, and then pretty flat green one. And that was the day, most of Saturday last week. So, yep, I'm not bullish on the Saturday. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Yes, Christoph, you're here right at the beginning too. You and New World. Doge to 100 what, Miguel? Doge to 100 what? Hey, but if XRP can go to $100, so can Dogecoin, right? $100. Crypto mining stocks doing well. Yeah, I haven't bought those. I did a clean Spark swing trade last fall, and that worked out pretty well. That's the only time, but it was just a short swing trade. A lot of people were betting on the bullish flag, so I guess all those bets will be wiped clean. Yeah. Ryan, I think he was using a naughty word, and that's why his chat didn't show up. I've got a long list of naughty words. Long list of naughty words. Especially trying to, keep all those stupid XAI scam token comments showing up on my YouTube videos. I got to stay one step ahead of those bots, because the bots just keep coming and they keep changing the numbers and the letters after the XAI, and it's just hard to keep up with that. Yep, a long list of naughty words. I try and keep things clean here in the chat, There are a bunch of put XRP on the naughty list. Yep. If I put XRP on the naughty list, then you would never hear about XRP on this channel again. You didn't use what you think is a bad word, Charles, but it may have. So just ask your question again. You've got a long list of naughty words. It's the naughty list, I know. But yeah, that's one thing YouTube does allow, the channel owners to do, is to create a list of naughty words, just to keep things clean, or try to. There's ways to work around it, but I don't want to give you guys ideas, because then you'll just start doing it. And I'm just like, nope, not going to do it. Orbison, never miss a KrissPax live stream. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. Maul wants to see the heat map. We have not looked at the heat map. Let's see what we got here. In the last hour, the liquidations are, of course, green, which means long liquidations. 8 million on ETH, 3 million on Bitcoin in just the last hour. That's a lot, especially on ETH. Some big ones. We can look at the value and see if there were some $1 million ones. There were. ETH. It's about half an hour ago. There was a $1 million trade, long leverage trade on ETH that got liquidated. Yep. How are the heat maps looking? So we got some new shorts, big shorts on Bitcoin, up here at 110, 292, and then again up here at 110, 565. So some new big shorts on Bitcoin. Go to the 48-hour and we will see a little clearer what's going on. Yeah, so these were the big long leverage trades that got wiped out on that previous dip. So we were watching all of that yesterday. There haven't been a lot of new ones coming in, though. I'm surprised. I would have thought once Bitcoin got down here to 107 and then started moving up, you'd start seeing a lot more heavy, long liquidation trades. And there weren't really a lot. There were some, but not huge amounts. So I don't really see like the big yellows that you would normally see down here. But this does go down to about 107K. And I mean, there's multi-million dollars there, but not the big yellows. So we'll see how that plays out. And so we'll look at Doge. Yeah, same with Doge. Now, Doge does have about $176,000 here at 22.6. 22.6. So yeah, maybe we don't get to 21 cents, but we do get to about 22.6, 22.5. Because there is some big leverage liquidation prices right there at 22.6 on Dogecoin. I'll take your financial advice, but ultimately it's my decision at the end. I just play it as I see it. 22.6 might be a buying opportunity for Dogecoin. Looking for a good dip, DJ Dan says. Regardless, XRP is a bad word, whether it's on the naughty list or not. Oh, the cat decides what the naughty words are. Let's see. Charles. Anthony. Chat messages in the last year. Charles Anthony has 3. The first you have in the last year, Charles Anthony. I'm looking at it down here because I can see your first is I asked it 4 times already. Second, I didn't use a bad word. And third, my question keeps getting skipped. That's it. That's all I got from you. So just ask again, dude. If it's that important, just ask again, because I have no record of any questions being asked by you. Did you say please? Now remember, Charles Anthony, that's coming from a cat. So did you say please? That's a cat who's typing that note. Or perhaps try rephrasing. I think there was something on the naughty list in there. Ask the 8 ball if we need to buy the dip. The cat says, I played on KrissPax's computer today and it said I got liquidated. Not sure what it means. I just want shrimps. Ask the 8 ball if we should buy 22.6. All hail the financial advisor. 8 ball. Does the 8 ball own any Dogecoin? It's probably the cat's 8 ball too. I'm just waiting for the cat to say that in the chat. That it's actually the cat's 8 ball. Yep, pulling out the receipts. You figured it out. The D. The D. How high will Bitcoin go this year? Wow. Alexander, there have been price predictions everywhere from 120K up to $1 million for price predictions for Bitcoin this year. So probably somewhere in there. It's higher than where it is now. Higher than where it is now. Very disappointed in Dogecoin. Big letdown. Yeah. Repeat from yesterday. We got it. What are you doing about it, though? You going to buy some more on the dip? Or are you just out? Charles didn't realize his question had 74 F-bombs. Exactly. Or he's only allowed to ask questions that say something about why none of his other questions have been answered. 200K Bitcoin would be epic. Yeah, to double, almost double in price from here. I mean, that would be a great move. What's the lowest price Doge can hit and still be bullish? So I answered this question in terms of Bitcoin, and it was if Bitcoin goes to 69K, then the bull market is done. For Doge, I believe I had answered 10 cents, and it went down to like 13. It didn't quite hit 10. So I was saved there in terms of how I was looking at the overall Doge chart in terms of this whole bull market. So 13 cents. I am the 8-ball. The cat. Everything belongs to Pax Cat. Even your soul. Oh, you guys. Pax Cat is the secret whale behind Popcat. Then he shouldn't be messing around with my wallet. He's got his own wallet. The supreme ruler just announced tariffs on the EU. The Velveeta Voldemort just prevented our run again. Well, most of the price going down was on the backs of that Apple news, but the EU tariff news didn't hurt or didn't help. So I think it was kind of both of them together. Yeah. Will thinks 175K for Bitcoin. The Red Sox scored 19 runs. What? I know the Orioles bullpen is bad. Did they go to like a regular? Yeah, look at that, 19-5. Devers, 2 home runs. The Orioles probably went with some stupid, yeah. Boston scored 13 runs in the 8th. I'll bet this Orioles pitcher wasn't even a real pitcher in the 8th inning. Some guy named Rivera. Probably wasn't even a pitcher, and the Red Sox just went crazy. just killed him in the 8th. That's funny. Pax Cat. Fear, greed, extreme fear. He has to fear the cat. Exactly. You must fear the cat. Buy the dips. Bitcoin to $1 million. You're on that end of the range for this year. It was the ball boy or ball girl who went in. Ryan, are you really betting on baseball? Come on. Are you really betting on baseball? That's tough. Betting on baseball. 2-day Phillies. When I dip, you dip, we all dip. Yeah. Miguel, you can buy Bitcoin over $100,000 of Bitcoin. Go right ahead. I'll buy Doge, which is still my theory for the rest of 2025 is Dogecoin will outperform Bitcoin from here. Yes, Doge has been a disappointment this year, but what are you going to do about it now? That's the question. What are you going to do about it now? Loading Doge. I didn't hear any news on Trump's dinner other than what we briefly heard last night about Trump's talk or speech or whatever it was disappointing. What else would you expect with a bunch of crypto people? Every time Trump talks about crypto, except when he was on the campaign trail, when he said all the things, all the promises, right, that crypto people wanted to hear, like free, Ross Ulbricht and fire Gary Gensler, right? Those are the easy ones. But now, nobody likes what he says. Loaded Doge at 23 cents. Is the Pax Cat worth 1 Bitcoin? Wow. Is the Pax Cat worth a Bitcoin? Unfortunately, there's somebody else in the house you'd have to convince. But me, I'd take a Bitcoin. I'd take the Bitcoin. Goodbye, cat. Yeah, what happened to the cat? Did we used to have a cat? Where'd he go? I haven't seen him for a while. Wonder what happened. My wallet has another Bitcoin in it. How did that happen? Yeah, this is Ryan. This is just when you just take a time out on the sports betting. Really, you just take a time out. Oh. Yeah, we looked at the Bitcoin shorts up there. Especially that one, 112.7 on my chart is that big yellow short right there, $112,700. So if it can get over 112, hit a new all-time high, then you'll see it jump up to like 112.7, 112.8 and get those shorts. Agreed. When Trump mentions a tariff buy, Trump mentions a tariff, buy on the dip. Hey, we got Charles' question. Do you know why crypto.com? Oh, so you probably wrote it as a link. That's my guess. You wrote it as a link, crypto.com. And there's no links allowed in the chat. So typing it out like that, crypto.com, is the right way to do it. That explains it. All right, Charles. Woo. Because you can't put a link in the chat. So if you just type crypto.com, that's a link. Chat doesn't allow that. Okay, we solved that. Now, the question at hand. Why is Bitcoin being shown at $1,000 more than other exchanges? Because that's how crypto.com and Robinhood work, is with a big spread between the bid and the ask. Now, is it $1,000 for crypto.com? It's probably a little bit less than that, but let's take a look because I have crypto.com here and we'll see. Based on the current price on of here, 108,588. Let me get to it. See what it shows for Bitcoin right now. I know, DB, disappointed. We solved it, and it's just like, ugh. All right. So Bitcoin is showing the current price at 110,162. Wow. 110,000. So it's like 1,500 more. To buy. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. It shouldn't be that much. But yeah, that's what they do. There's no fees. There's no fees when you buy Bitcoin on crypto.com, but you're paying higher. What's the current Robinhood on Bitcoin? Let's see what it says here. Bitcoin buy 109,250. 109,250. So that's about 700, about $700 difference on Robinhood from the current price to their ask price on their spread. But crypto.com is right now double that. Wow. That's a lot. That's a good question, Charles. Good question. But yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. The one advantage crypto.com has is that they offer a lot of stupid tokens that you can't buy anywhere else as a US citizen. And crypto.com is the one place that has all those crappy tokens on an exchange if you want to buy on exchange. But you are paying a premium over what everybody else is paying at the same time with a no fee trade. But that Bitcoin one, that's a lot. PaxCat is priceless. I don't know, one Bitcoin. Yeah, one Bitcoin. I'm always a little shocked Bitcoin goes up. I can't understand how people hold that winning lottery ticket. They keep buying. Well, again, it's the banks and the institutions, governments buying it. And the people buying the ETFs, they don't see that Bitcoin is $108,000, right? They see whatever the price of the ETF is that isn't that. Take the BTC for sure. Anything and everything is for sale, just has to have the right price. Yeah, you must have got outside. Oops. Oh, left the door open. I have not heard of molecular biotech stock. I stopped trading biotech stocks. I just got out of that whole biotech business. It's just too crazy, back 4 years ago. The cat already throws up on the carpets. Not too often anymore. As a kitten, he did a lot. I am not one of those Trumpers. There's a lot of things that Trump does that I don't agree with. But bringing jobs to America, I do agree with, particularly in auto manufacturing. And in this case, too, it's just like, if we're going to consume stuff here, let's build it here. I've been on that bandwagon long before Trump was. Buying all this cheap Chinese shit, all that just was bad. It's bad. No, we should be building stuff here and consuming stuff here. That's not being a Trumper. That's being a believer in manufacturing in America, made in America. The longest roller coaster ride I've ever seen. Well, the lowest spread is Coinbase, but you pay a small fee on each transaction. And I figured out between Robinhood and Coinbase, it was just about a wash. The difference in the price on Robinhood is equal, close enough to the fee you pay on Coinbase on a percentage basis. And that was from like a year ago. I did that analysis. I imagine it probably hasn't changed much since then. Except when the price on Robinhood or the volume on Robinhood is huge and there's wild swings in prices like Dogecoin can do, then that spread gets even more. And it's better to buy on Coinbase when things are going crazy, because Coinbase keeps that nice tight spread there that it's only 0.001 difference or 0.001 difference between the bid and the ask, where on Robinhood it's huge. So that's what I see. Hey, Campo, you're here. You typed something with a link and it didn't send? Yep. Yeah, agreed. We buy from China because of capitalism, but we need to change that. We need to change that mentality here. Particularly when you get like onto Amazon, you don't know where that stuff is being made. Now there's rumors Amazon is going to start adding an import fee or something like that to cover tariffs, or I don't know. But like I bought some landscape lights, some solar landscape lights, and it did not say where they were being made. They were from China. Yeah, Dean, we looked at the heat map on Bitcoin, and we determined we would be looking for a dip to around what did we say? 106.8. Yeah, just below 107. That seems to be the current view of things here. But if they could get it down to 106.3, these numbers just changed. Still. Oh, this is just on Binance. Oh, that's because I need to go to symbol. I got it now. And I need to go to 48. There's a nice big one there at 107.7. Yeah, we were just looking at this. Yeah, 106.8. Be a little lower than that previous dip. What are the next lotto results? If I knew that, I wouldn't be here. Agreed, sunshine. I don't agree with the method, but I agree with the idea. People are going to exploit any monetary system. Touchy is Harris. Yeah, sorry about that. Getting frustrated. Sorry, Charles. We solved it, though. No links. How much did I pay for those? Let's see. Let's see what I paid for those. It was a box of 8 of them for $44. Is that what I bought? Or did I get the bigger? Did it show me how many of them I bought? I thought I bought more than 8. Yeah, I paid $58 and I got a 12 pack. 12 pack for $58. I think that's right. No. I have to look outside now. No, it was the 8. Yeah, 8 of them for $49 plus I got the free shipping, but I had to pay the tax. That's what it was. They look great. They're awesome. They're also made in China. Made in America. Build our companies in America. Pay a bit more for quality and for American households to enjoy better wages and lives. I agree with that as well. Dogecoin is not from China. Oh, you mean this one? This little one. Was that made in China? Could have been. The other night, Coinbase showed Bitcoin at 111 and Crypto.com showed 112.7. So I thought we had another all-time high. Yeah, that Crypto.com price is, yeah, that's nuts. I did not have Crypto.com open the other night when Bitcoin was hitting an all-time high. But yeah, definitely too high. That's too big of a spread. I remember doing that with Pepe, and yeah, the spread was big, but not as big as that Bitcoin one was. And same when I bought Trump token, because I bought the Trump token on there. Thank you, Red Bull. Appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Always a dip after a tariff. Always goes up after, as long as he's finished with his BS. We should be fine. I don't think it's going to be a sell in May, go away this year, Dean. Talked about that before. And I think because we've had, again, from the beginning of the year, we've had this big drop in the price, right? We had that. We've had some recovery since then, but I don't think we're going to have, by the end of May, it's going to be like time for a big drop down into like 15 cents or anything like that. I don't foresee that. because I think we're still recovering from the overreaction of the Trump tariffs. This was an overreaction. And we're seeing the stock market do the same thing. It was an overreaction from January to April. Prices are recovering. Now I think it's going to be like sideways up and down in some range. We're going to see what that range is. But I don't think it's going to be one of those where you sell now and then in September it's back down to like 12 cents or 14 cents or anything like that. So don't be an idiot, Top G. You're just asking stupid questions now. Dogecoin is a digital currency. Made in America by Billy Marcus on his laptop in Portland, Oregon. Mark my words. Top is really a bottom. Oh, there was this other quote too that Kev had that was really funny. See if I can find it. Trying to find it. Classic TA quote. Momentum is compressing. Oh, there it is. Treat resistance as resistance until it isn't. This is classic from a TA guy. Treat resistance as resistance until it isn't. And it's just like, really? That was the other thing. It's like, treat resistance as resistance until it isn't. Okay, Kev. I liked like 95% of the stuff he said in that video. It was a good video, but this is the two little things that just, and this was the second one. Treat resistance as resistance until it isn't. And I was just like, what? What did you just say? No. Kev. Portland, Oregon, where my favorite skyjacker boarded his plane. Oh. We'll just go with, the timeout. We won't ban him, but he gets a timeout. So he can listen in if he wants. But I didn't ban him from the channel. I have the ability to do that too. So he's not in Never Never Land, but he's muted. Muted. Yeah, it wasn't a full boot. It was just a mute. I mean, he does kind of have a point, right? If there's huge mining operations for Dogecoin in China, then those Chinese miners are getting those Dogecoin rewards. They could be selling them to an exchange, of which that's where I buy. However, I'm buying on Coinbase and Robinhood. So the chances of the Dogecoin being mined in China, find that exact Dogecoin finding its way to Robinhood or Coinbase, pretty slim. Pretty slim. But I get what he was saying. But yeah. Yeah, and here's Chaos Boy with the stop losses thing. Again, stop losses, people use that when they're trading leverage and stuff, but just spot trading, you don't use stop losses. If you're doing day trading with huge amounts, that might be different because you don't want to get like wrecked on a day trade. I get that. But Community Top G means another Tesla dealership gets sprayed. He was just getting annoying though. The way he asks questions is just like, prove me wrong. I'm just like, that's so dumb. So what else is moving today? Or is anything moving today? How about that question? Form, BitGet token, Hype, Pepe. Pepe was up. We looked at Whiff earlier. Aave, SPX, the golds, Pax Gold. There it is right there. Pax Gold. It's up today. That's because gold is up. Bonk is still up. And Monero. Monero has been up a lot. The big losses are Trump, Tau, LDO, Story, Stacks, Pi, again, Celestia, Render, Graph, Athena, Gala, Mutable X. So that's in the top 100 biggest gainers and biggest losers. Again, I still think a lot of weakness in the crypto market trading on a Friday evening, that we could see dips into the 22s or even trading into the 22s later tonight. I get to choose how long someone gets timed out, and I timed out Top G for 24 hours. I could do 5 minutes. I just chose 24 hours just so it's the rest of the stream because I just didn't want to deal with it. Yeah, in the timeout corner. I don't mind having a discussion with a bear or someone who has questions about Dogecoin, but when you have an attitude like that, it just gets boring. It gets old really fast. There's nothing to fear except resistance, but you only treat resistance as resistance until it isn't. Quote from our boy Kev. I'm a 3/4 G. Yep. Hey, I got a lot of power on this end of the YouTube live stream here. There's lots of stuff I can do. Let's see how our Devlin poll ended up. Looks like half of you think Devlin is going to win or be in the top 10. Half think that Devlin's going to finish in the top 10. Let's go, Dogecoin. Let's go. Yeah, you're timed out until you isn't. Yeah, so Sunday is the Indy 500 with the Dogecoin wrapped IndyCar driven by Devlin DeFrancesco. I think he's starting at like position number 16 or something. So kind of the middle of the pack to start with. Somebody says, I want this autographed by Devlin DeFran. I'll pay in Doge. I like that. Get an autographed Doge picture, Dogecoin car picture. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So that is on Sunday. I will be live either after the Indy 500 is over, or if it's somehow delayed and running late, I may start the live stream with the race still going on, and we'll have it on in the corner, and we'll be able to watch it, see what happens. Did some swing trading there, Orbison. $260. Tesla, Apple, Hood, and NVIDIA. Awesome. Yeah, last fall I was doing a lot of swing trades and was very profitable on those. Leading up to the election was the perfect time for that DJT, the Trump business, whatever it was. Made a lot of money on that. Live stream before the race and after. I can't live stream before. I can't be on at noon. Say you can do all the TA you want, but the overall macro is still uncertain. I'm trying to take advantage of it with some swings, but not with Doge. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. You can do all the technical analysis in the world, but and even Kev said that in his video. He's like, there are some TA guys that just do only TA. They only look at the lines on the chart. Kev actually pairs it with the financial and monetary news, such as interest rates, inflation, all of that. So I still think he relies a little too much on those fib lines and the moving averages. And it's just like when the price is going up and going down, it doesn't know what a moving average is. Oh, it has to bounce off the 50 SMA or EMA support. It's like, no, it doesn't. And if you're looking at history and it just happens to work out that way, total coincidence. It's just a coincidence. And you can change it from the 50 to the 100 or the 200, whatever fits your narrative. You can do that. Just like you can change your fib line spring points to fit your narrative. I see it all the time. And we looked at some of it earlier in the stream, and it was like, yeah, that's kind of made up. All right, gang, that's what we have for today. I hope everyone enjoys their Friday. I will be live again on Sunday. Have a fun video coming out tomorrow, so watch for that. That's going to be a fun one for the weekend. It's not just going to be the price of stuff. It's going to be a bigger thing that I've been wanting to cover in a video. And so that will be coming tomorrow. I hope everyone has a great evening, and we will see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.